Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Zoom into Wine. It's time for the show and your host, Ian Blackburn.
And we're going live now. Welcome, everybody, to Stars of Baja Wine. This is our first annual gathering of wineries from Baja for a beautiful evening of wine tasting. All of our clients on the Zoom with us tonight have received tasting kits or bottle kits. And we're going to be tasting right now with 6 producers from Baja. My name is Ian Blackburn. I'll be the host. And we have a wonderful show in front of us tonight. The Stars of Wine is an ongoing series that we do where we get the winemakers on the Zoom with us so we can taste with them, learn about their brands, plan to visit them in our travel, make some connections, make some friends on Zoom, get to see each other, taste some wine from home, and you're welcome to be as involved as you would like tonight. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to see your face. We'd love to get comments in the chat box at the very bottom of the screen, and encourage, send some notes if you like the wines. The winemakers are on the Zoom. Let them know how the wines are treating you and if you have any questions about the wines at all. We'll go right into our very first winery. And let me introduce you to Tom Bracamonis Bracamontes. Is that, I said that right, Tom?
You know what? It's not the easiest last name to pronounce, but Bracamontes is close enough.
Yeah? All right. Well, thanks for...
Sure. My pleasure.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you for gathering the producers. Tom is the importer and imports quite a few different wineries from Baja and other parts of Mexico now, right, Tom?
Yeah. I mean, right now, Baja makes it the primary source of the wines that I import. But probably in about 3 weeks, I'll start bringing wines in from the central part of Mexico and Coahuila as well.
Very cool, Tom. Well, you are my Mexican wine expert, so I appreciate your help, and thank you for helping me with the future trip that we're planning to take to Baja as well in May. We're a little behind the ball in getting that scheduled, but we're working on it quickly. And if you're on our list of folks that are waiting to hear from us, we should have something early next week for you to be able to look at with our package for the Baja excursion. That it is set in May, and if you want further details, you can go to winela.com and sign up for the interest list, and the folks on the interest list will get the first rights of refusal. All right, Tom, let's get started. I know we've got Bruma with Lourdes Lulu Martinez Oeda.
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me.
Yes.
Lulu, it's easier. It's easier than Tom Bracamontes, just Lulu.
Good to see you again. We got to judge at the LA County Fair, and we got to meet each other there, and it was really great, fun time. I'm glad you didn't see my karaoke, or maybe you did see my karaoke.
I didn't. I ran from the karaoke. I'm glad you didn't see my karaoke.
Well, I have been fortunate enough to try your wine in advance of this tasting. Why don't we get into it? I've got a little PowerPoint that will guide us. I want to remind our producers that we are on a time schedule. We have 6 wineries to show off tonight. So the clock is ticking, and we have
I'll be brief.
A nice, quick presentation. And we're here to encourage people to come down to Valle de Guadalupe with me in May, but also on your own. Just make a nice trip down, make some reservations, and it's not too far. How long does it take you, Tom, to get down there when you drive because you're smart, you know when to go and when not to go, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you leave from Los Angeles and you leave early in the morning, you'll miss most of the traffic. From LA, you're roughly a couple of hours to the border, maybe roughly about 2.5 hours, and then maybe about another hour and 15 minutes to get to the valley. So it's pretty quick, and it's a beautiful drive along the coast, very safe. So for me, it's a very relaxing drive, and it's probably a lot easier than trying to get into Santa Barbara or up north.
Yeah, there's times you don't want to try to go across the border, like Friday night or Saturday night can be pretty crazy with long delays and stuff. But if you're heading out and you hit that border at the right time, and if you come with me, we're going on what's called a common courier, and we have a special lane that we can use, and we can get some things done pretty quickly. And you can bring back a little extra wine, Tom. Did you know that?
I believe if you do use a common courier, you can get past the 1 liter law. So if you're planning on doing that, then that's an added benefit for them being on this trip.
Yeah, you can actually buy the wine from the producers and put it on the bus, and because it's a common courier, you can come back with more than one bottle per person, which is the limit right now if you're in your own car. So that's something just to note. Now, sorry, Loris, the slideshows will bounce around a little bit. That's something about Zoom and my computer. But Lourdes, I'm super happy to have you on the Zoom, Lulu. You prefer Lulu than Lourdes?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's do Lulu. And
so we're gonna try actually Bruma is the name of the winery.
okay.
We also have 2 restaurants, Fauna and the Wine Garden, and they're just amazing. Both of them, our chef David Casabuzon is super talented. Not as talented as a winemaker, but he does a great job. It's really amazing. You know, I think you can make great wines now everywhere in the world. French would say even in Mexico. But what makes it really special is having the whole experience and just having great food. The winery is amazing. The architecture is really, really something. And what we try to do with this Sauvignon Blanc, this is actually from my family's vineyard. It's been in our family for 100 years now. It's a Sauvignon. This particular Sauvignon was planted 24 years ago. And I really wanted to do something very simple, straightforward. I studied winemaking in Bordeaux and lived there for 16 years. So it was really important for me to have kind of just the typicity of the varietal and make it more about the soil, which is a really clayish soil. You could really tell by the freshness of it. And not make it an exuberant Sauvignon. This is more it does have those citric aromas. I did leave a little bit of leaves in there for a couple of months, but I really wanted that kind of flowery aroma, floral aroma to come out and just have a really nice freshness, acidity. I love eating. So for me, acidity is a huge part of what we do. And in Sauvignon, even more so, So I like to compare it to a kind of classical Loire Valley Sauvignon, just because it has that depth and density, but with a lot of nice acidity, crispness. You can actually, the slide, you can see the winery is underneath that tree. The tree is the most important symbol that we have in the winery. It represents giving everything that we do in life a second opportunity or a second use. The winery is actually built with recycled, refurbished materials. And our barrel cellar is right underneath that lake or that mirror of water. You can see our room, our tasting room in there. And it's just beautiful because it completely integrates with the paysage, the scenery of Valle Guadalupe.
Beautiful. Well, the wine's in my glass, and hopefully everyone's tasting along with us at home. This is the 2020 Bruma Plan B. And I love this.
The name of the vineyard, you can see it on the back label, is Rancho Rincón de Guadalupe, which is actually in the San Vicente Valley, which is a little bit south of Ensenada. And you can really taste the clayiness of the soil through the nice acidity.
May have shot past a couple. I click it once and it doesn't move, so I click it again and it shoots 3 times. So sorry about that. But here is the next slide. Inside, you obviously spent some time on the design and the architecture and the messaging here. It's really cool.
Yeah, the architect is Alejandro da Costa. He's an absolute artist. Again, everything, all of the wood that you see is recycled wood that was actually on the freeways, on the American freeways before it changed to metal. So we bought everything and built the winery with it. And you can actually see branches of the tree. That tasting table is one of the branches of the 350-year-old tree that we have there in Bruma.
Wow. And how many different wines are you making at Bruma?
We actually have three different ranges of wine. We have the Vinos de la Casa, which is kind of a very selfish project for me because it's my way of experimenting with fun varietals, different techniques. And every year I change the varietals. Then we have Plan B. You know, the Plan B, we have a white, a rosé, and a red. And the idea behind Plan B is just having classical, you know, I did train in Bordeaux and I'm not here in Mexico to do Bordeaux wines, but I love the classiness, elegance, and freshness of those type of wines. So Plan B is exactly that. You know, for us wine drinkers, I drink wine every day because it's my job. I don't have an issue with it. No. So I really believe that Plan B is the type of wine that you would have with, you know, whatever you have at home. You don't have to cook for it. And then Ocho Tinto, or Ochos, I'm sorry, are the premium wines of a range. And those are more serious, intense, powerful wines that you have. Those are your Sunday type of wines or anniversaries, or, you know, it's a more kind of dense wine. And again, we have whites, rosés, and reds. So in every range, we have three different types of wines.
Well, the Blanco that we're trying right now is really pretty. It's got a really fun nose. I almost think there's a saltiness in the nose that I really like. It's very bright and fresh and clean, and it just kind of keeps drawing me back in, refreshing my palate. And this is a beautiful rendition, and I might even smell just a little kiss of like fresh cut jalapeno, a little bit of passion fruit as well.
I agree, and I love that because it's, you know, the DNA of Sauvignon. So if it smells like the varietal, I'm happy with it.
Mm. Well, great job. A great way to start off our evening. You know, Sauvignon Blanc is becoming a much more popular starter wine. It's really great for stimulating appetite, refreshing the palate. I mean, notice how your mouth feels right now. It's all clean, and you've had a long day and you're ready to drink some wine. And now it, you know, kind of entices you to begin the meal experience. And there's so many foods that you can pair Sauvignon Blanc with, from shellfish, oysters, salads, soups, charcuterie. It's really a versatile wine, and a great idea in warmer days too, because it's kind of light, bright, and refreshing, and perfect for our cuisine here. So really a wonderful wine, and we have it at a very good price on the website, Merchant of Wine. If you like the wine, please support Bruma, and if we do run out of stock, we have more available. I believe this is the current vintage, Tom, and I think there's
Yes.
a good supply here.
Yes, sir. We got plenty in the warehouse.
All right. Thank you, Tom. And thank you for joining us. We can't wait to come and see your tasting room and taste with you, and be there in Guadalupe Wine Valley.
Mi casa es su casa, so we'll be waiting for you at Bruma and Fauna.
Thank you so much. And here's the full list, look at her wines, packaging, design, the winery, all very cool. As are you, Lulu. We thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much, guys.
Now I'd like to introduce True Miller, the proprietor of Adobe Guadalupe.
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
Fantastic. Yes,
Yes.
let me pull up. I'm going to stop the share screen. And I did something terrible to Lulu. I didn't spotlight her, but I think it did that for me on the last presentation. But now you're spotlighted, True. Really,
Wow.
really a pleasure to meet you. Sorry, True. I first of all, I see that you're in the PowerPoint next, and if, I got to apologize because you're not supposed to be. Our next wine is actually going to be Mogoni, but I was so drawn to wanting to introduce you. Give me a moment, True, and I'll be back, and we're going to come back to you in just a moment. But we have these little jars, and I don't want to mess up the order, but the PowerPoint's in a little bit of disarray, so I apologize for that.
Okay, hurry up.
All right. You'll be right with you.
Good.
All right. Ian, just to give you a heads up, I think Magoni is having trouble getting in.
Okay, let me see. Let me see if they're sitting there. And la la la. I have. They should try one more time. Make sure they've got that right,
Okay.
the right link there. But I don't see anybody in the waiting room. Should we
All
go
right.
past Magoni and come back?
Honestly, I would, because I know that Camilo was running between things, and it was actually better when he found out that he was at the end.
Okay, good. Well, True, since we got you, why don't we see if we can't actually pull this off? Okay.
We'll try.
I need everybody to make sure we move to wine number 4 to Adobe Guadalupe. Wine number 4, Adobe Guadalupe. And then we're going to come back to wine number 2 next, Tom. So if you can, I see someone coming into the Zoom right now. And so that might be Magone. It's not the name on the Zoom, but we'll get that figured out. Thank you.
Okay, I'm on it.
All right. So, is everybody ready to go for wine number 4 with me? Okay. We're going to throw you for a little bit of a loop. Good thing we're not going from wine 3 to 4 because it gets harder as we go up the number scale. And here's Mr. Magoni coming in right now, just so you know, Tom. So we're going to taste wine number 4, Adobe Guadalupe. I have been to your property, True. Pleasure to meet you. I hope you don't mind me calling you True.
No, not at all.
Where am I talking to you from today? Are you in Baja?
I'm home. I'm at Adobe Guadalupe, and I have been here for, I think, 2 weeks already. I mean, I need to get going. I need to sell some wine. I mean, I can't just hang out here. Come on now.
Are you, do you live down there, or are you in it's Orange County as well?
Yes, I live in both places.
Excellent. Yeah, the first time I visited your property many years ago, I've learned that you live not too far away from where I grew up. So
That's right.
yeah. So really fantastic to meet you. I'm a big fan of the brand. I know there's a lot of passion and family stories behind the brand. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Adobe Guadalupe?
Adobe Guadalupe started about, I think, more than 20 years ago. And I didn't realize it was so long until today when somebody asked me. But we're doing well. Thank goodness we're hanging in there. The COVID was difficult. Sometimes Mexico is a little bit more difficult than another country, but we did it. We're proud of what we did. And hopefully we can make a lot of money so I can pay all that money off that I borrowed.
Oh,
I'll be fine.
you borrowed money to do this, but you had some real inspiration inside the family for this brand, right?
Yes, I did. I did. And so things are going well.
Would you mind if I tell people what happened?
No, go ahead.
I mean, it's a translation of the story, but this is the story that I heard, and I want to make sure it's correct. That it was your son that wanted to start this project, and he didn't finish the project, but you guys gathered together and helped finish up his dream, correct?
Yes. Unfortunately, he died when we were on a trip in around San Francisco. We were going to see and meet people. We had this whole list about wine people, and he came from the university from Washington to be with us, and got killed in a car accident on the way. And so I kind of lost the interest. And then I heard about a Valle de Guadalupe, and Guadalupe was really whatever he talked about, because he wanted to be, a representative of the United States in Mexico and all that stuff. And he had already told me that. And I was in his room in Washington. He went to school. It was all serapes, and it was I told him, how can you study with all those colors? And he said, this is what I feel. This is the country, and I want to be the ambassador for the United States in Mexico. I thought it was a bit much what he wanted to do, but he died. So, I mean, I cannot say anything. And unfortunately, like I said, and when I heard about Valle de Guadalupe, and it all came so clear to me that I could not do anything else but try and go to the Valle of Guadalupe and find out what was there. And then, of course, I realized there was a wine country, and that made even more sense. So I did my best and I tried, and here we are 25 years, 26 years later.
Well, I have been to your property. It is beautiful.
Thank you.
I love the fact that each of your wines has kind of a little, well, there's a number of wines that have relationship with the different angels, the different angel blends. We're tasting the Jardin Secreto, the Secret Garden. And I have been able to stay at your property. We stayed there for a weekend, or at least a night, and it was beautiful, and I love that, and I'd love to come and do that again.
Whenever you like, you're welcome. And like you probably see that, we don't only have wine from with angels, because that's our top, those are our top wines. And then I thought that maybe I could do something a little bit less expensive so everybody could enjoy our wines. And that's when we started with the jardines, with the gardens. And actually, we're doing well with the gardens because it's easier for people to pay less, of course, and still have good wine.
Well, I just sent you a message so you have my email so we can talk, okay?
Good.
And I also thought very highly of your wine over the last couple of years and gave it some very nice scores, and have sold a good amount of it. And I think that tonight's wine is showing particularly spectacular. And so here's a look at the various blends. And I believe there's a picture of you and your winemaker.
Exactly. I was thinking, I hope you're going to mention my friend, because he's going to be on later, and he'll never forgive me.
Yeah.
The best of the best, I think. Of course, Lulu is a good friend of mine, and she's probably the top best, but this is another top best, and I'm just so happy to be working with him so many years, and whatever he tells me and suggests, I usually do.
Very good. Well, Daniel will be showing off his wine a little bit later, and he is the winemaker at Adobe Guadalupe as well as his own brand. So we'll hear from Daniel in a little while. But it's great to have you here and to meet the family, and to hear your story and about the journey. And if any of you have been to this property, let us hear from you. You're all part of this show. You're not just watching, you're here, you're part of it. So
the picture you see now is our store. So it's not really where I live, but this is where I sell the wine. I just wanted to make sure that everybody understood that.
Oh, you have a little store. Is it on the property or away from the property?
It's on the property. So you can just, the horses are on one side, and then there are horses on the other side. The store is in the middle, and then in the back, this is the wine cellar, which you're seeing now. And then to the left of this picture is our house, which is absolutely beautiful, and I love to live there. And I hope to live here a few more years.
No, I don't doubt it at all. And look at how wonderful the view is there. It's a great place for the vines and for you. And hopefully all of us will be seeing you there at Adobe Guadalupe in the very near future.
Please come and visit.
Yeah, let's talk about the wine that's in the glass.
Yes.
And we've got the 2019. And by the way, there's only a couple bottles of 19 left, and then we'll roll right into the 20. So, and I have great confidence in the 20. I was a huge supporter of the 18. The 19 was only here for a moment, and now we're moving into the 20. So that's just how wine rolls. And these are always really, really dependable wines. And so, you trust the brand, and this brand has been with me for a very long time. 10 months in French oak barrels, pretty nice aging capacity, Tempranillo based. I believe there's more information on the back label. 65 Tempranillo, 22 Cabernet, and 13 Cinsault. I'd love to hear from any of you that are tasting this wine. Any questions, any comments? And use
Yes,
that
please.
chat box to help people hear what you think about the wine. Go ahead, True.
No, I'm just hoping, I'm sitting here just waiting for the comments, and I hope they're positive. And because really, when I get something good to hear about, this Jardín Secreto 2019, this is only good for me because I'm trying to sell it in the store.
Well, I love the plum notion that I pick up immediately on this wine. It's like plum skins. I grew up in a neighborhood that had a beautiful plum tree that all the neighbors would pull fruit from, and at certain times of the year they could smell through the entire neighborhood the smell of these plums, and so I love that red wine reference there. The use of Tempranillo gives it some really nice spicy and tannic character, and it's got some wonderful balance between the tannins and the fruit and the richness, and it's not over extracted. Your winemaker has done a wonderful job here, and I just love the way the blend really comes together. There's no nails or thumbs sticking out. It's all really, really round and attractive wine. And now the comments are starting to flow.
I really appreciate what you said about this wine. It sounds really beautiful, and I hope that people everywhere will think more or less the same, because I've put my heart into this. So has Danielle, and who you will speak with later. And it's a popular wine, and I know why, because it's so easy to drink and so interesting, I think.
Yeah, and a really good price. We all buy a lot of wine, and there are wines that you can buy with certain prestige. You get a nice little amount of prestige here for the price. It's a really good value proposition. It has a good history, a good track record. I would say that this is one of the more identifiable quality producers of Baja, and you've done a great job with the brand. So thank you, True, for being here and being on the show. And
Thank you.
everybody that's
And
watching.
if you ever want to do something else, then come and work with me.
Oh, I sure will. And we will come and see you, and we'll talk. And I can't wait to have huevos rancheros at your.
Oof, of course.
Yes, it's after when you wake up, a little breakfast in the kitchen there. Spectacular, and it is a beautiful property, and I can't wait to see it again.
Thank you.
Thank you, True. Make sure you look at the comments at the bottom there if you haven't already, in the chat box on your screen. You can see all the people's comments that are flowing in there about the wine. And can you see those, True?
No, I can't see them, but
You have a little black
I
bar.
believe you. I really do.
I'm gonna print them out for you and get them
Oh,
to
thank you.
All right.
Oh, wow. That's terrific. Look at that.
Yeah.
And we love the horses at Adobe. Now that's very important. It's great. Thank you so much.
Fantastic. I appreciate you. All right, everybody. You've held on for the ride so far. We just tasted wine number 4, a little out of order, because we were waiting for Mr. Magoni to be able to get on the Zoom. We had a little Zoom issue earlier, and I think we fixed it now. So we'll say goodbye to True, and thank you for being with us. And we're going to go back to wine number 2 now. And is everybody on board? Any questions? Let's check in with people. I usually get a chance to, I got a little flustered in the beginning because we were all over the place with some technical issues. And just want to go around the screen and say hi to some folks that have been with us for many a Zoom over the past, coming up on 2 years. Can't believe it. Lisa Test, my friend, good to see you. Teresa Mackey. The Dylan Becks are in force. Got a couple Dylan Becks on the Zoom tonight. Sue Green, good to see you too. Fantastic. And Norma Ayala, my friend. You're in Orange County now, right, Norma? Not too far away from True.
Yeah, I'm in Newport Beach and I work in Irvine. So True, if that's near your area, we can get together and taste wine, and maybe you can make huevos rancheros for me too.
I don't think True does that. No.
Only in Baja.
She has people for that down there in Baja that do some really good work around the winery, and they take good care of us. Let's see what else is out there. Carlos Magoni, I do see you. Camilo Magoni, I do see you. So I'm going to go ahead and spotlight you now. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you? Thank you for inviting us.
Oh, I am so pleased to have you here. You are literally a legend of wine. And how long have you been making wine?
I do not want to be a legend. I want to be the present.
All right. I'll keep that in mind.
Well,
you know, and legend at the same time, right?
I was born in Italy, so I have this year I celebrate the 60th years as a winemaker. And of that, I spent 57 years in Baja California, Valle Guadalupe, San Vicente, and the wineries that I work with. So, but I always looking for the future. The past is always interesting as a history, but we have to look for the future. So that is my goal now.
Well, I got to tell you, I was really impressed when I tasted through your line of wines, and I had a hard time picking which one we wanted to show off. But when I saw this wine was a 2021, I was like, really? It's so fresh, but it is so delicious, Camilo. Thank you. And it's a Sangiovese Cabernet blend. Vintage is actually 2021. I think everybody got the same one, I believe. At least on the tasting flights, I know we were there. Hector, I see you there. You tasting the wines with us tonight, buddy? All right, Camila. This is your property.
Well, it looks more or less around like that. We have 115 hectares working of vineyards in Baja, 85 in Guadalupe Valley, and 30 south of Ensenada in the region of Llano Colorado, San Vicente. And we are growing commercially around over 30 varieties. But we had the experimental one that we saw at the total one is around 120 varieties that we grow and we vinify. So we make wine from 120 different varieties.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And do you have a favorite variety for Baja?
It's difficult to say. I think one of the probably today as iconic one is probably the Nebbiolo of Baja, which is one of the varieties that have the most recognition around the world on the tasting, on the wine concourse and everything. But I'm not sure that that one will be the iconic one. We have to we have to meet all together and decide which one we want to promote regarding the terroir, regarding the vinification rules, and go all together to define that.
Yeah, because I remember years ago on a visit I had, Tom, I think I told you, I had a really special day down there with Ugo de Acosta, and he told me,
Sure.
I asked him, what is the great grape opportunity for Mexico? Because, you know, a lot of places in the world pick a grape, you know, New Zealand, Sauvignon Blanc, and Argentina, Malbec, and you know, Sangiovese from Tuscany or Tempranillo from Rioja, whatever. And he had a brilliant answer. He said that Mexico is more of a mosaic, and Baja will make blends to represent that mosaic. And I think that it was pretty spot on. And I think that what we are able to see here is because we have a number of blends today, that maybe you're not typically used to, but they are really thoughtful, and they balance each other very nice, and you guys are making the rules here. So it's a beautiful thing. And this wine that we're tasting today is the Sangiovese Cabernet. And do you know in the 2021 vintage what the percentages are?
Yeah, it's around 60% of Cabernet and 40% Sangiovese. This particular, the last vintage, was for us was completely different than the last 10-15 years, because we had a very mild or cold spring, a very mild winter, summer. So we have the ripening, the grape ripening was very small, very slow, and we had the phenolic maturity, phenolic ripening before the industrial phenol ripening. So it depends, it's the phenolic ripe and the sugar coming after that. So we have wines a little bit less alcohol. In fact, our reds are around 13% this year. And I think that promote the fruitness of the wines, that fresh character that I always looking for. I think that will be the future, that we have to work in the area to make a very pleasant wine, and including that you know that we are in a very very dry region. It's almost a desert. In fact, this year we have only less than 5 inches of rain in the total season. So we have to work and developing a new strategy to work with less water, because it's we are very short in water, and to develop those wines that preserve the fruit character and the freshness, the characteristic of the grapes that I always looking for.
Well, you're such a great ambassador for Baja. You remind me actually of another Italian immigrant, Robert Mondavi, who was a great representative to Napa Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And you might be the Robert Mondavi of Baja.
No.
No?
No. Too much. No. I want to stay with my foot on the air and on the soil. I
Oh,
don't want
right.
to fly. No, I think we have well, I personally work for promoting or for to preserve the spirit of the enology, to work with the future of the area, and also to prepare the new generation for the following step that we have to work with. So I very that is my compromise. And then the other thing is not my responsibility. Maybe others say, "Hey, Camilo, yes, don't." I don't care. I like to work for our, of course, for our wines, but also, and especially for the future of course, our company, but also the future of the region, because I think we have a lot of work to do it.
Well, I agree, and your philosophies and grounded ideas are wonderful, but you are a man that I'm sure a lot of people look up to, and it's a real pleasure to have you here today. And I want to share with everyone, these wines that he produces are, like I said, he's got an incredible resume and reputation. And this wine that we're tasting today is $19 on our website. It's a really delicious wine. It's great value. That is an ambassador a wine that everyone can take out to a friend's house for dinner, barbecue, and say, taste something great from Valle de Guadalupe, and it's not going to set you back too hard. The Bruma, $25 for a Sauvignon Blanc. That's beautiful. And there's a lot of value here. We're going to taste in a minute with Bodegas Henri Lorton, and we're going to taste some Nebbiolo at $38 compared to like a $60 Barolo, and Adobe Guadalupe at $36, and Daniel at $41. His really beautiful blend, and then a Cabernet $35. So all these prices are really in line with great quality and something that you can pull open with some confidence, and I really enjoy these wines, and I think it's great to blow people's minds, because still a lot of people don't realize what's happening in Baja. Tom, how many wineries are in Baja now?
At last count, probably 150. I mean, not all of them necessarily have a facility, but
Right.
there's at least 150 brands out here. And if you go back to 2015, there was probably less than 50. So tremendous amount of growth over the last few years.
Amazing. Well, Mr. Magoni, we really thank you for being with us tonight and for letting us hear from you. It's a really personal touch, and it makes the event even more special. And we hope to meet you someday.
Thank you very much. And when we are here to receive you and your friends and everybody, to show what we have, what we do, and to explain our philosophy. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Thank you so much. Bravo. I hope everyone's feeling a little bit better. He came home from work. I got a couple of wines on, and I feel like we're down in Baja, and soon we will be. If you want to come with me, do think about that. We're looking in the weekend in May. We're going to go down early on a Friday, and excuse me, let me just get those dates correct. We're looking at the 13th, 14th, 15th, back on on Monday the 16th. So we avoid the weekend crush at the border. We'll come back in style Monday evening. All right. Let's now go to Lorton. And our guest tonight is Nicholas Lorton, winemaker.
Hello.
How are you, Nicholas?
Very well, and you?
Thank you so much. You have a different accent.
Yeah, kinda. We're the French in the Valley.
That's great. And are you of there are many great significant Lortons in Bordeaux. Are they relatives?
Yes, in fact, we are. I'm just saying the picture you can see is my brother Vincent, which is working with me as well in the winery.
He looks just like you.
And yeah, we're from the Lorton family, and our family comes back since a long time in the wine. We are the 5th generation doing wine from our family. And my father has a winery in Bordeaux, in Margaux. The name is Bracamonis, and all my family is working a lot in the wine, mostly in Bordeaux, but I have some as well around the world, like in Australia, Argentina, and Sonoma, and a lot of places.
I see the Lorton name in a lot of places, and it's great to find you in Baja. What was the attraction to coming to Baja?
Well, for us, it was a bit special because our grandfather went in Baja in the 50s, and he came back in the 70s too. So he fell in love with Baja with his first trip in Mexico, with Mexico in general. He stayed there 2 to 3 years. He was stuck. In fact, he went from the US to Mexico, and then he was stuck in the border. So he had to work during 2 to 3 years to come back to France. And it was one of his best memories of his trips. And he came back in 17, where he met Don Camilo and other Magoni and other people from the valley, and knew a bit more about the wine. And he always liked the region and always wanted to do something here. So because he had a lot of work in France, he had to work with more or less 10 different wineries. So he didn't have time to start a new project. He didn't do it, but my father, in 2013, 2012, wanted to begin a new project somewhere, and Mexico popped up because of the story and because of Lulu that you saw with Bruma, which worked with a brand during 9 to 10 years. So we went in 2014 to try the grapes, and we thought that these grapes are very good and can make very good wines here. So yeah, we began in 2015 our journey to main Mexican wine.
Spectacular. Well, here's a look at the family. Yeah, strong genes there. You guys all look like part of the family tree. That's great. And we're tasting tonight the 2019 Nebbiolo. And I have on my visits to Baja noticed, first of all, if you think Baja is trying to make wines to taste like Napa Valley, you're wrong. It is, it's a much different appellation. The wines are much more like Europe than they are like the Napa Valley. And I really think that the Spanish and the Italian varieties, with the mixture of the classic French varieties, and even the California ways of thinking about them by labeling them as varietal, It's really a blend of ideas, a blend of traditions, and a blend of cultures. And Nebbiolo is, as Mr. Magoni said, potentially the most um, famous grape variety of the region. What are you
Yes.
doing? What are you doing to make your Nebbiolo? What's your process?
Okay, so to talk about a bit the Nebbiolo here, it's true that the style we make it is can be a more light, more European style. I think both are still possible here. I don't think it will be as powerful as Napa, but it's still the Nebbiolo can still be very colorful and very powerful. But when we tried the one we get from Valle de San Vicente, we really wanted to do one which is lighter, more fruit on the fruit with very good acidity, good balance. And that was the plan with our Nebbiolo. So we did it in stainless steel tank and only 10 months in 2 years and 3 years old barrel. We use only French oak because I don't know, we prefer the French oak. We are more used to it, I guess. So what it adds is more the style we want to have. And yeah, it was very, when we begin to do this style of Nebbiolo, it can be really different from other Nebbiolo in the Valle. And I think it's something that can work very well too. And this one, the 19, is the lightest we did and the more fruity too. So the plan was to do Nebbiolo like more easy to drink, more on the fruit aspects than on the very like 3 years old, well, age in 100% barrel during 2 to 3 years, more something like. It was the plan with this Nebbiolo.
Well, I just took a group to northern Italy. Actually, we were very lucky. We were able to go to Barolo in November with a group, and the timing could not have worked out better. The health of the country and everything allowed us to travel very well, and they had all the good programs in place. We were able to taste so many wonderful Barolos, but a young Italian Barolo will be really hard edged and difficult to get close to for a little while. This one allows you a little bit of access and has great varietal character, but it does have a slight plushness to it, a richness to it, and really tasty, and another really good value. Does anybody want to make any comments on the Zoom? Any of you in the audience want to talk about this wine out loud and maybe mention anything in the comment box? I don't hear anyone. So
hey, Ian,
yeah,
real quick. Hey, welcome. Yeah. Thank you for the tasting. Loving the selection here. So interesting. The French making Nebbiolo in Mexico. I love it. Wonder if we could speak a little bit about the climate and such. I know the San Vicente is getting further south. And we were just discussing like, okay, we're getting into the hot zone here, but obviously there's some dynamics with the climate that are going on. Maybe you could speak to that a little bit.
Yeah. So the Valle de San Vicente, for me, it's more easy to have more freshness in your wine, more acidity, because well, the soil is different. It's one thing, like Lulu said, it's a lot of clay around there. Lulu told she gets grapes. She had some grapes from her family, and this Nebbiolo is from one of their neighbor, so very close. We are buying all of our grapes so far. We don't have our own vineyard. We are still, we're still a bit new, so we're getting there little by little. We want to have our wine someday, but yet we are still buying our grapes, and we are buying nearly everything from San Vicente, because what we saw there is like where they plant the vine and everything, with the different soil, with a bit more freshness from being a bit, it's near the sea. It's not very far from the sea. Mm-hmm. It's not just in front of, but it's not very far from the sea. And as well with the morning, during the morning, because of all the mountain out there, well, like like the curves there is shades that can stay a bit longer. I think
Okay.
a lot of what we can see in some vineyard in Valle de Guadalupe. And I think this shade helps to have a more fresh soil in the early days, during the beginning of the days, especially.
Cooler. So okay, no, that makes sense. We figured it was probably had to do something being closer to the coast and everything. So, gotcha. Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Good to see you on the Zoom with us tonight. Who's joining you tonight?
Sorry about that. It's my neighbor who's bringing over some of his own wine as well. So I think it'll be a long evening. But, he's with me once in a while here, Mr. Mike. So
awesome. Well, I like the kind of the salted, dried Asian plums. I don't know if you've ever had those, Nicholas, but my wife is Chinese and she has these salted, dried plums that they have as a snack. And you get that little bit of salinity, again, that nice rugged plum skin, but that little saltiness and that characteristic. You can imagine a little bit of the typical tar and roses type of stuff too. If you look in the glass and think about it, smell it, you get some of that, a little tar action there, and that kiss of vanilla from the French wood, and it really just kind of like nice seams, nothing too dramatic or bold or edgy. There's good restraint and balance in the alcohol and the way the wine tastes. It's really a beautiful and pure expression of Nebbiolo, and I can see why the family was interested in getting over there. And Lulu had some involvement in your family's wine operation as well for a while, right?
Yes.
So that's a wonderful gateway to getting you there, and that's really fun. And so I'm really looking forward to meeting you perhaps in the near future. And if you're ever in Los Angeles, we'd love to welcome you, and maybe we could do something up here with you guys too.
Thank you very much. I would like to add that we are going to open for tasting soon. We only have a very small bodega. Well, in fact, it's located in Magoni's building, where they make their own wine. We rent a part near them, and it's a very production side style of bodegas, but there is a lot of thing to see for the process of how we make our wine, and we'd be happy to have you at the bodega for tasting soon.
I would love it. That sounds great. Are you going to be open by the time we get there in May?
I think so, yes.
All right. Well, we'll definitely be there then. All right. Well, a real pleasure to meet you, Nicholas. Thank you for being with us, and to all of us on the Zoom. I know that you guys work hard all day, and being on a Zoom at night may not be your first choice, but it's means a little bit more to be able to taste the wine with you and to have you explain what's happening, and I really do appreciate it.
Well, thank you for having me, and I hope you enjoy the wine and will enjoy our other wines too if you try them.
Great, appreciate it. Well, we have tasted around the map here a little bit. We've had a Sauvignon Blanc with Lulu that I loved, and the Magoni, a really beautiful, fun, fresh, balanced, nice value. We've had now the beautiful and generous Nebbiolo that I think you guys, I saw a couple of people say that it was their favorite so far, and really a great wine. I've always been in love with the Adobe Guadalupe and continue to have a great sense of relationship with that wine, and some really fun wines. But now we're going to meet with Daniel Lomberg, and we get to see a really important figure in the wine industry in Mexico. He is the winemaker at Adobe Guadalupe, but we're going to try the Vin Sur number 5 with Daniel, and then we'll have Madeira 5 up right after. I got you there. I'm going to ask you to unmute there, Daniel, and I'll spotlight you.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
Where are you from, Daniel?
I come from Chile.
Yeah.
But, yeah, lived too many years in Mexico. Almost 16 years live in Mexico. The first time when beginning in 2005, and that's it. I came to for 4 months. Now I'm still there. I'm still here.
Do you go back and forth to Chile often?
Yeah, I try to visit my family every year. My brothers, but right now my life is here. It's for me very difficult come back to work in Chile because obviously my life is here. In terms of the industry of the wine, I consult in different projects. I involved in different projects. Adobe Guadalupe is one of them, the most important project involved in Adobe, and consulting on another wineries too. And of course, beginning my personal project is Vin Sur, that wine.
Let's get into that, and I'm excited to taste this with you. I make Zinfandel and Sonoma myself, and so I noted that this wine had Zinfandel focus with some Petit Verdot, and I mean, look at the array of different grape varieties we've been able to taste tonight. Really, really cool to be able to see such a fantastic cross section of what's happening at the best level in Baja. And tell us about your Vin Sur brand. How long have you been making Vin Sur?
I begin in almost 10 years. In fact, Cañada de los Encinos, that wine, present Cañada de los Encinos, the Zinfandel and Petit Verdot was my first label. I'm really excited, of course. I try to make that wine because I try to make, obviously, my personal project. So I try to make a different style. No? I love Zinfandel. I love Petit Verdot. In Chile, it's very common to use Petit Verdot in the finished blending, 10%, 50%. In this case, in Cañada Los Encinos 18, I use 40% Petit Verdot. The idea is I try to make a different wine. Probably is the unique blend in Baja for that type of the blend. No, use Zinfandel and Petit Verdot, and that is great for me, of course.
Well, in my wine, I use Petite too, but I use Petite Syrah, and I never thought to even think about Petit Verdot, but I love what I smell here. It's really got a cool, with Zinfandel, you're going to get a lot of fruit and a lot of finish, but not a lot in the center, and you can really kind of smell and kind of engage that Petit Verdot there.
Yeah,
really cool.
Yeah, of course. Bueno, Cañada, I begin in that label. I begin in probably 2008 is my first vintage, and then this is 2018, 10 years more. I try to use it two different grapes, no, of course. Zinfandel, I love Zinfandel. I love the acidity in Zinfandel. I do the fruit. I love the refreshing Zinfandel. Petit Verdot, obviously, it's more strong grapes. It's more, I know what to say, but it's more elegant for me. So when you combine two different grapes in one wine, but the final result is very good wine, elegant wine, refreshed wine. It's only used, and for example, in Cañada, I only use a 10% new oak because I prefer the fruit in the glass. I prefer the expression of the grapes in the glass. The oaky is only for the tannins, but for most important for me in that type of the wine is the integration for the fruit, the grapes. No? Is the reason for using only 10% new French oak.
Yeah, it's a very claret style of Zinfandel,
And
Yep.
I think that's right in my lane. That's what I love to find. It's got a lot of charm. Can you tell me the name Cañada de los Encinos? What does that mean?
What's the name? Well, Cañada de los Encinos is because in Guadalupe Valley have an Indian reserve. What the name is San Antonio Necua. Well, in English, I don't know what to say, but it's San Antonio Necua. If you translate, it's Cañada de los Encinos. It's one of part very close to, if you go to Bruma or Cheto, it's very inter of the valley. It's the only green zone probably in the valley. And I try to put the name of the location, no? Because the people, all people in this Indian people work in different wineries and the vineyards. It's for me for the put the location, personality. Is the reason for the name.
Well, the chat box is kind of blowing up here. Tom, thanks for helping answer some of the questions and comments.
Yeah.
There. But get some very nice, very juicy. Igor, thank you so much. Good to have you on the Zoom with us. Susan, I think you asked a question earlier, and if we didn't get to answer it, I apologize. But thanks for all your participation. I think there was a question earlier about the concrete eggs, right?
We have 3 winemakers from Sonoma and Napa, so we are asking lots of questions about technical.
Ah.
But we're also sending love to the people that we already know down in Baja.
Hola, Danielle.
Danielle.
Hello, Susan.
Hello, everybody. Love you guys so much.
Awesome. Look at that.
Hello, Sarah.
Hola.
Sarah, how are you?
Yeah.
Hola, Daniel.
She's my Chilean friend, winemaker.
No te conozco, pero te felicito por tu éxito en México. Es genial ver a alguien de Chile triunfando en México. So, feliz por ti.
Thank you. Thank you for your coming.
Thank you for joining our Zoom, ladies. We were really happy to have you. And if there's any questions you want to ask, now would be a good time.
Oh, my goodness. Well, Sarah and I multiple times, and we love Danielle and True and Camilo
and Victor
and Lulu and we so Nicholas, but now we do. So now we have another winemaker that we love in the Valle, and then Marcelo to know about what we should plant here in the future. Thinking that our climate will be more like the Valle.
Without water and hot.
Wow.
That's we got started, and my husband's cooking us dinner.
Yeah. Today, this is really good. Yeah. We met down in the Valle briefly last spring in April, I think. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Great time. Yeah.
This has been a crazy day of small world in my world, and Sarah, having you on the Zoom is kind of a small world because this morning I had a visit from Peju, and you're the winemaker at Peju, and I said the best Cabernet I've tasted all week is a Merlot.
Yeah.
And I said that jokingly, but really blown away by the quality of Merlot in the Napa Valley. And I've heard some stories about how Merlot's actually getting a little hard to find up there.
True story.
And your wine was just super fantastic, and really was I had to stop what I was doing, take a picture. So I want to post that today because you don't get to talk about Merlot very much. So it's a very small world. So I didn't know you were going to be on the Zoom today.
Yeah.
Super fun.
Very good friends.
Yeah.
Very good friends.
That's right.
We're planning our next trip right now.
Careful.
Warning this time, Danielle. I promise.
Thank you for for visiting. So much. Thank you for staying here with us.
Very cool.
Yes,
Very
an honor. Thank you. Very good friends. Two ladies try to visit every year. Sarah and Susan visit Baja every year. I try to visit every year, and it's exciting because I talk about different wines, different style, and for me, in fact, it's good in terms of the show who made wines in Mexico, who is the wine in Mexico, who the potential the wine is in Mexico. This is amazing. It's amazing.
Well, so from Napa Valley to Baja to, from Los Angeles to Baja, Orange County to Baja, we're all connected here through these wine. And it's really wonderful to have a community that kind of cares and supports each other. So I really appreciate everybody being here. I hope you guys enjoyed Daniel's wine. And Daniel, I hope we get to meet you on our trip down in May as well.
Well, it wouldn't be a trip to Baja without them.
There we go. There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah. There we go.
Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you for. Obviously, I the last things or last talk, invited or visit Baja California, because some of the wine industry is growing every year. It's the reason for is stay here. Yeah, my life is here. The condition for them to make good wines is very, very good. Another reason is here my friends is winemaker from another part of the world, live here in Ensenada, from Argentina, from Chile, from Switzerland, from Spain. Entonces it's really, really awesome when the different cultures about the wine, in terms of the wine. Congrats here in Baja California. It's great. Entonces, my last word probably is invited people, guys coming. For my part, visit me in Adobe or in Binsur. I appreciate. I don't know. Thanks.
Well, fantastic. We do look forward to meeting you. Thank you for your time. Your wine is beautiful. And as a Zinfandel producer, I'm really impressed. I'm going to check out some Petit Verdot and see what it does with Maizen too. Maybe we can try some notes.
Yeah.
I'll bring some of Maizen down so you can try it when we come. All right. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Right. Well, we've got one more great wine to show off, and we've had the pleasure of showing Madeira 5 wines before. Victor, are you out there, Victor? Victor Segura?
Yes, I'm here. I hope you can hear me. Or
There you are.
Sometimes I just miss you a little, but I hope you can hear me well.
Yep, there. I think I can hear you. I'm wondering how strong your connection is, so we'll see how that goes. But thank you for being here and for making time for us here. I've really enjoyed selling your wine for the past year and a half. We've had the Roja on our website and had great success with it. And tonight we're going to try something a little different. The Madeira 5 Tempranillo Cabernet. Tell us about your brand, Victor.
Yes.
How long have you guys been
around? We started 15 years ago. 15 years ago, we started as a garage wines. The idea at that moment was to make just one wine, one blend of wine per year, a different one. And we started the first year, 2007, it was Cabernet Merlot. 2008 was a Tempranillo Cabernet. 2009, Cabernet Sangiovese. And then my partners, there were 5. That's why it's Madeira 5. That is history regarding a golf history between one of my partners and compadre that he lost two and broke two and lost one. Madeira 5, the 5 wood out of golf. So when we were looking for the name, that came up, and
playing golf, he lost five.
And believe me, it's been a hell of a ride. We started making 10 barrels first year. Now we cases a year. That's the 5 partners, and we are located in nearby Daniel. What is interesting regarding this is we all friends. I know Lulu, I know Nicolas, True Miller. Everybody we are friends and we are close. And Daniel and I, we're in the same area. Our wineries are just nearby. And you ask Mr. Camilo, what is the grape that will represent Mexico? I don't think one grape will represent Mexico. And I fully agree with Hugo that we are a mosaic of different grapes, and we are not looking for just one grape. We are looking for the best wine. So that's the idea for everybody, to not trying to compete with Napa, because always people refer to us as a Napa of Mexico, and sorry, we are not. We are not looking for. You got at least 2 that I know, Susan and Sarah. They really understand our difference. They do in Sonoma and Napa great wines, and we try to do our best here. We are not trying to duplicate or trying to do the same things that they're doing over there. Our weather is way different. Our soils, everything is different. So what we're trying to is to make our own wines. And the first winery here was 1888. I think before your first winery in California. So this kind of is a lot of history in Mexico regarding wines, and that's what we are looking for. Okay, this blend of Madeira 5 Tempranillo Cabernet, and we purchase all our grapes. We are just purchase a property in Valle. We are planting next year. Right now, I got a nursery with all the plants for next year, and we will start planting next year. But at this moment, same as Daniel, Lorton, Bruma, a lot of people we purchase out of San Vicente or from Valle. Madeira 5 purchase like 100% from San Vicente. We are lucky that we have friends that got this kind of vineyards. For example, a Tempranillo is coming from a vineyard that is more than 70-year-old vineyard.
Wow.
And it's amazing. The fruit is beautiful every year. It's perfect. The Cabernet is maybe a 20-year-old vineyard, but the main thing here is the Tempranillo. That is an amazing grape. I cannot be more than satisfied that we are lucky to have this kind of grapes. And San Vicente, as Lulu mentioned, is a deep, rich clay soil. I think it's like that Rincon de Guadalupe vineyard is like 7 to 8 miles from the sea. So it's cold, kind of cold weather vineyard. That's why we can have this kind of fruit. Same as a Lulu, we also purchase the Sauvignon Blanc. More of our grapes come from this vineyard. That is the Sauvignon Blanc, the Nebbiolo, the Tempranillo Cabernet, and out of the Sangiovese Cabernet Sangiovese is from another vineyard, but also in San Vicente. It's a small, you don't have that on that photo, the new wine that is Rojo 126, that also is being export. And also is a John blend, 8 months in the barrel. And it's been a bit successful for us because it's not in that photo, but believe me, it's been a beautiful wine that is
This
easy
one,
to
right?
drink. This one, I don't know, you already pouring yourself. Yes, no, Rojo 126, but forget about the end. That one.
Yeah, this has been on our website for
That one also.
over a year. We've sold about 10 cases of this wine. We've had really good success with the Roja 126, and I was excited to try the higher tier Cabernet tonight, and it's only about $15 more a bottle, but this is a really good option for everyone too. And if you want to go to Merchant of Wine and just use the little Q button up in the corner and hit Baja, or you can go to the regions and find, let's see, how do we have it here? Mexico is right here under Latin America, and then all of the wines that we have from Baja in our store, which is a small store, but for us to have 10 SKUs from Baja is I think pretty impressive. I don't know that many retailers in Los Angeles have 10 SKUs from Baja. So thanks to Tom. Thanks to Tom, we got there.
Well, don't worry, Ian. We have more when you want to go to 20.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. No, we might get there because actually the performance is pretty great, and the wines that we're able to buy and sell for around $40 or less is really a pretty significant quality, and the comments I'm getting back are really cool. But this Madeira 5 Tempranillo Cabernet is what we're finishing up with here today. We're at $35.95, and that's a big, beautiful wine that you could bring out in any backyard barbecue and have with the best of your friends, and really impress them with something that will be amazing with some grilled meats, huh? I might just enjoy this all by itself. I don't even know if you need food to enjoy this wine. This is just so. I love the nose, and I hope everyone saw there was like this little theme of a kind of a salinity and really a charm factor. The fruit isn't just bouncing out of the glass. It's kind of got a nice balance with the earth and the wood, and the style is very Baja. I think if you like the wines tonight, you're going to really enjoy what you see down there. And it's really kind of a fantastic journey going into Baja and seeing it for yourself. And there's some really great restaurants down there. Some of you might have some favorite restaurants, and if you have any recommendations, just put them in the chat box. So if you don't get to come with me on my trip, or we don't get to go everywhere, people can have a little list of restaurants to go visit in Baja, because there are a couple very special ones. And Victor, thank you for showing us this gem. It's really showing great. We sent jars, little sample sets. We have about 37 sample sets out in the group, and we have a lot of our bottle sets are out there too. I want to thank everybody for being on the Zoom with us tonight. If you haven't done this before, we do a Stars of Wine every single month. And in fact, in the month of, I'm going to show you, in the month of April, we'll actually have 2 Stars events. We have our Stars of Italian Wine coming up on April 13th. And then a visit to Santa Lucia Highlands with 6 Pinot producers from Santa Lucia. So something really special and specific. One grape variety, 6 different producers. And if you click on these buttons, you can see all the great wines. We always pack these events with the top wines. You know, Italy, we're going to have Civaro, Tosca di Amorita, Podera della Ripi, and I have the winemakers on a Zoom with me, and we have the importers live that night. Avionesi, we have Paolo Scavino, Barolo. That's our stars of Italian wine. With Santa Lucia, really a cool night with Roar and Crew and Pizzoni, McIntyre, Bernardus, and Wrath. And being able to pull everybody together and be able to taste like this, I think it saved my life during the pandemic. Jeff Costa-Bravo, I see you've got your hand up there, so if you have a question for us, please do kick in. But we continue to produce my team. We've got about 6 team members that help me produce these events. And tonight we got a little tested at the beginning, but I want to thank them all for helping us pull this together. That's roughly 240 jars, 60 different packages that made it. We'd sent them out on Monday or Tuesday, and they all arrived. And I did not have anybody threaten me with my life because they missed the package, so that was always nice as well. Emily Little, always great to see you. Thanks for all your support. Setsuko in Japan and Igor, wonderful to have you here. Jen Wade, have you done this with us before?
No, this is my first one.
I hope you enjoyed.
I did very much. This is wonderful.
Great. And if any of you have any questions for the producers, that some of them are still on the Zoom with us, now would be the time. And I thank you, everybody. Have a good night, everybody. I'll just sit here and let people chat. And if you want to kick out, go for it. But Jeff Costa-Bravo, go for it. Your hand's up, but I need you to unmute.
Unmuting, yes, sorry. Hey.
Hi.
Oh, my hand is up? I didn't, we're just sitting here.
Oh, yeah, someone touched the hand button, but that's
okay.
Sorry
I'm sorry. And then I heard my name and I'm like, what did I do? What did I do?
Right down on the little app bar there, you can raise your
hand. I thought you were calling me out because I signed up for the Stars of Baja thing. So or on the interest list there. So
oh, good. Yes. Well, we do owe everyone that's on that interest list some more information, so it's going to be coming.
All right. Fair enough.
All right. Well, thanks for the comments, everybody. There's quite a nice thing there. I'll make sure to grab those.
Yeah, and I want to say that your trip down to Baja is going to be pretty spectacular. All these great winemakers. You know, I've been going down to the Baja region ever since I was a kid, staying at Estero Beach. You know, I've been going up to El Valle and going. Initially, we used to go to Monte Chinique, which was the place. I don't know, maybe 25 years ago, 20 years ago. But it's developed into some amazing nuances of grapes and winemakers there. And what's beautiful about it, that there's just as great of chefs that are there, from Diego Hernandez to Cosere to Javier Plasencia. When you combine those great wines with those great chefs, it's the ultimate Baja experience. And I think you're going to have a great opportunity, whoever happens to come with you, whoever's lucky enough to come with you, to experience the best of Baja.
Well, if you don't know who Hector is, Hector Sandoval is our long-term friend and also does some amazing photography in the city of LA for events, and a lot of our tastings have Hector's signature. So we thank you for being here, Hector. And I know you've been down there often. You're my consigliere on the trip, so we'll be talking more. Emily, you've got a question, or are you just trying to match Jeff's Costa-Bravo's hand up?
No, I actually have a question.
Okay,
unfortunately, we cannot come on your trip, Ian.
Yeah.
we're hoping to be in Italy at that time.
Good for you.
But I've had a bunch of friends go down to Valle de Guadalupe and absolutely raved about it. So I've been wanting to go for a long time. If we can't go on your trip, in general, what's a good time of year if we're going for the wine? If we want to go to the wineries, what's a good time of year to go?
No, I'll be honest with you. And this is Tom Bracamonis. I'm the importer and I live part-time down here. There aren't too many bad times. I mean, right in the middle of harvest, August, it can get really warm. So if you don't like high 90 degrees, you might want to stay away in the middle of August. But just about any time else is fantastic. Today was probably about 78, 79, and just beautiful. So I think most of the time you're going to find mid 70s, mid to mid 80s. At night, maybe it's going to drop down into the high 50s because it's a desert climate. So you just bring a light jacket with you. But aside from that, August is probably the warmest time of the year. So if you don't really like the heat, you might want to stay away in August.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
There you go.
Right now, if you went down there, Emily, because of what little rain we got, everything is so green and so just technicolor. It's crazy. It's beautiful. But I agree with Tom. There's not a bad, and we've been down there in 118, which sounds miserable.
But it's a dry heat.
I would never say that. I have friends from Las Vegas. I won't use that. No, it's sort of like a warm blanket. It just brings you down. It's just it's kind of a grounding experience. But there's not a bad time of year to go down there. So anytime you can make the trek, it's definitely worth it.
Okay, well, we're hoping to soon.
Fantastic. And if you need any help with Italy, let me know, Emily.
I was going to reach out, actually.
Right. Cool.
And Daniel, I'm sorry, did you say you were doing tastings at Vinsur?
Yeah, yes, it's bad appointment because the experience is with me. I try to explain my life, explain my wines, because tonight I present only Cañada, but in my portfolio I have another labels. Reflejo, for example, Reflejo is another label. It's a blend too, but it's another label. When you visit us in Vinsur, is tasted everything, another labels, rosé, white. Exactly. Reflejo is another label, the Vinsur, the personal. And that's it. See, it's no problem. Huh?
So we're big fans of Valle de Guadalupe, and we love your wine there. So we'd love to come by and kick the tires of Vinsur. So
yeah, please.
Absolutely. We spent about half our time down in Mexico, so we'll make sure to visit.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Daniel, I've had the Vinsur Reflejo on the website for a while, and really love this offering as well. So encourage you guys to go out and try some of the different wines, whether the ones we tried tonight or anything off of our website. Certainly I'm not able to carry everything these guys carry, but I try to find something that I think separates itself from other wines that we have, and I work hard to find my favorites, because if I can't sell them, I got to drink them all. So I do find wines that I love and put them on the website. But it's a lot of fun to discover what's happening in Baja. There's such a level of discovery there. And so with that, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and hope that you'll come back and tell some friends to get on the Zoom with us. Get together like Susan, Sarah, and Marcia. Is it Marcia Torres? Yeah. Get together like they did. They did it right. They had a party there around the Zoom. That's a fun way to do it.
I want to just tell you, Marcia is from Kansas Creek.
Get over here.
From you cut out a little bit from Matanzas Creek.
Yes,
The winemaker. She's Chilean.
Look at that! Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Very cool.
See ya.
Yeah. We're introducing her to Baja. She can't wait to go.
All right, well, you can come with us. How about that?
I think
She might come with us on another trip, but
The oysters.
yeah.
yes,
The
the kumi eyes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, we don't want to dominate.
Yeah.
Just
Thank you. We thank you.
We're hugging
You guys.
wines with you next.
Fantastic. I really appreciate your participation. Thanks so much. It was great to have you and to have Napa in the house. And Frosty, you came off on camera. You got a nice group there too. You're just showing off, right? That you guys had kind of one-upped everybody. You got that beautiful patio. You guys are all kicking around there. Awesome.
Hello.
All right.
We've
Thank
really
you, guys.
enjoyed the presentation. Thank you so much.
Well, you guys know how to do it.
Thanks, Ian.
Were you kicking that barbecue up there tonight too?
Raclette.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, guys. Everybody have a wonderful night, and I am personally thrilled that baseball season is finally here. Thank God. And even though you're up north, I'm just going to say, go Dodgers! Bye, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks again, Ian.
I love
Appreciate
the Giants, too, because I love to beat the Giants. You can't have baseball without a team to beat. All right. Cheers, everybody. Be well.